Greetings, and welcome to the third episode of our Oblivion House Mod Hunters series, where we take a look at 3 very different house mods for Oblivion in 3 different categories. As always, I'm your host, Dark Elf Guy, and today we'll be taking a look at a fairly unique variety of houses, from mountaintop shacks to typical imperial housing, and rather peculiar shaped dwellings. This is certainly an interesting batch of house mods that we'll be taking a look at. And as always, you can find download links for all the mods shown in the video down in the video description below. So why don't we just go ahead and get started with our popular house mod, and we'll be taking a look at Abandoned Mountain Shack by Vince Bly. And this is a mountain shack home overlooking the Imperial City from afar, and I do apologise, there's a bit of a frame rate hit here. This shack is a mostly exterior based home. The inside of the shack is actually part of the same world space as the exterior, and this home is really a major fixer-upper. It comes in a pretty run-down state. There's missing floorboards, the windows are dirty, there's bones everywhere for some reason, ivy growing over everything, broken down trees, really everything is in a sort of a state of serious need of repair. And that's actually part of the appeal of this home, is that this is a home you fix up yourself. You invest the time and effort to sort of go through and remove all the cobwebs, fix up the floor and everything else. And here you can see this mountain shack home on the map, and it's in a moderately isolated position. The commute to nearby Bruma isn't too bad, but it's a far ways from the Imperial City, even though you can technically see the city from up here. And of course there's a map marker, so you can get back to your home at any time. And just to provide a visual example, you can go through and knock off all of the vines from the porch here, and there's a bunch of stuff that'll require being fixed with particular items. And for the most part you can find these items scattered about the property, and the total fix-up might take you somewhere between 20 or 40 minutes. And here you can see the house once it's been fixed up, and again the frame rate here isn't great because this shack is a part of the exterior world space. It will lag a bit on lower to medium end systems, but regardless, once fixed up the interior is quite cozy and lovely looking. There's a small kitchen and dining space alongside a small study area, and of course there's a bed in the corner and a fireplace. And it should be noted that you can turn the lights in this house on and off by clicking on them, and here I have the fireplace off to help reduce the frame rate a bit. And you might also notice that the windows are fully transparent once cleaned, and you can also fix up the yard, which includes an anvil out back, a well for drawing water, and a small fenced-in area to keep your horse in if you have one. There's also a small basement beneath the main shack, which is nicely decorated and comes with a bit of storage and display space in way of a few chests and tables. And there's also a couple of beds down here that any companions you might have can also use, in case you have a few companions that need a place to stay. And it has to be pointed out that there's just a really lovely view of the Imperial City from up here. There's even a crate you can sit on and drink some wine as the sun sets over the white gold tower below, and it's all really very lovely. All in all, this is a great house mod for those who want a challenge to fix up and repair. It's pretty much the exact definition of a fixer-upper, really. It does also come with a number of other convenience features, like companion beds, a stable, map marker, and you can also make your own coffee with this mod if you so desire. And once all repaired and fixed up, this is a really lovely small home in a rustic location that makes a great permanent residence or a getaway retreat if you just want to get away from the rat race in the city for a while and enjoy the scenic beauty of these mountains. And for our new house mod, we have player home Liramei's house Waterfront by Liramei. This is a lovely shade and hall style home right along the Imperial City waterfront in Lake Liramei, and the house is sort of off on its own little private section of the waterfront here, jutting out along the tip of this island, and it's got a nice little bit of landscaping with some flowering trees and vines along the front. And the commute to the Imperial City is obviously very short from this location. It's just a quick jog into the city proper, though this house doesn't actually have a map marker, so you'll have to use the Imperial City waterfront map marker if you want to get to your house quickly, and that'll add a little bit of an extra time to walk up to the main entry, honestly, since it's not right next to the map marker per se. And inside you'll find a nice little 2-story entry hall with a lot of nice decorations with paintings, wall hangings, and potted plants, though the main foyer doesn't really have much in way of storage or display space. There is also a lovely little kitchen along one of the side rooms here, including lots of little details and food-covered tables with raw ingredients and various stages of food preparation, and there's a lot of decorations going on that make the place feel sort of lived in. And there's even a baking room off to the side here for making rolls or hot cakes or other things of that nature in the oven. And on the second floor you'll find a sort of study and magical lab-like space that you can use for lounging about and reading a good book, or brewing a potion, or doing any of a number of other things. And like really every room in this house, there's a lot of nice and creatively designed decorations adorning the walls, bookshelves and table spaces of this set of rooms. You can also find a small library and sort of alchemy station over here, and a small side chamber, and again it just all looks really lovely with the decorations the author has placed around the home. And naturally you'll also find a master bedroom on the top level as well, and it should probably be pointed out that some of these decorations could be a bit unbalancing, like the Varla stone in the window there, though their primary purpose is really more decorative based than utilitarian. But regardless, the master bedroom is composed of a small sitting room off to the side and the main bed chamber, which comes with some display cases and storage, and also a clothing rack for bolts of cloth. And the house also comes with a small private chapel, where you can worship the divines in peace in a lovely little altar setting, and there are usable altars here that you can use to get a blessing from the 9 divines. In conclusion, this is a lovely waterfront home with an easy commute to the Imperial City, and it includes a few convenience features like an alchemy station and temple altar, as well as lots of decorative rooms such as the kitchen, master bedroom and magical lab. The home is free to use and makes for a lovely and cozy setting for any residents looking to move to the Imperial City but hoping to keep some of the quiet and peaceful comforts of the countryside. Finally, for our underrated house mod, we have Waterdrop House by Hdela, and this is probably, without doubt, one of the most unique house mods that we looked at so far in the series. As the name of this mod would imply, this is basically a giant water drop shaped house hanging over a small pond, just sort of dangling from the maw of a dragon statue. And this is really a very lovely, if also very small home. The entire interior is actually a part of the exterior world space, with all-round glass panes with views of the surrounding landscape, including the Imperial City and the mountains beyond. The house really does have a rather striking colour scheme, with blue colouring quite evident in the glass, as you might expect from a water drop. And there's also a few altars in here, one for enchanting and spellmaking, and another temple altar to receive blessings. And you also find a couple of companion beds alongside a master bed, a few chests for storage, and a single display case. This is really more of a novelty house than a permanent type of residence, but if you've ever wanted to live in a glass water drop, this is no doubt the house for you. And anyway, Waterdrop House is located right outside the Imperial City limits, making for an easy commute back to the city. And it's not that far away from Coral either, for that matter, and Waterdrop House does have its own map marker, so you can get back to this lovely, a very bit strange home at any time. And one other thing to point out here, the house is absolutely beautiful at night time, with a fantastic light blue glow that turns this water drop into a beautiful gem, a star closer to Nern, so to speak. Truly a lovely scene to take in, I really have to say. And overall, Waterdrop House is a one-of-a-kind home. You're not likely to see another one quite like it anywhere else, and while it's a lovely and beautifully unique home to dwell in, it may not be the most practical choice for an enterprising adventurer. That said, it does come with a number of convenience features like altars for spellmaking and enchanting, and a temple altar, as well as companion beds for any companions that you might have. And really, if you prefer art over functionality, you may well enjoy this house mod an awful lot. It is certainly quite scenic. And that pretty much concludes all of the mods I had to show you guys today. Do tune in next week for another episode of Oblivion House Mod Hunters. And if you have any suggestions for house mods that you'd like to see, do please post them below and we'll try and get them into the next episode. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this episode, do please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time.